Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I hope you are well. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was actually looking at this story and I decided to talk about it this morning. So, I'm going to go quickly to Texas to get to Atlanta. Now, I have to admit, the story did stick out to me a lot. It's because it happened at a Kmart. Yep, a Kmart. Now, I did have to do a little research on Kmart, and not all the Kmarts have closed in America. There's actually one located in Miami, Florida. So, lucky for them, right? Because I've always loved Kmarts. But Kmarts are still strong in other parts of the world. For instance, Queensland. That's right, in Australia. They actually have a Kmart that's still there. And as you see, this video took place in 2018. This situation, I should say, took place in 2018. So the 7-year-old victim in this story is unnamed, but I will refer to her as Bella. So during the Christmas season, Bella and her mother walked into a Kmart store. Bella's mother wanted to do a little window shopping, and of course, Bella wanted a toy, preferably a doll. So Bella ran straight to the toy aisle. Her mother was just feet away, looking at whatever it was that she was looking at, but they were pretty much having just a regular afternoon outing. Bella was told, like many other children, to not speak to strangers. 27-year-old Sterling, now the papers do say he's married, he walked into Westfield North Lake, north of Brisbane. That's where the Kmart is located. And he was not window shopping, but he was looking for a human. He would later say that he had an urge, and he went straight to the toy section of the store, and that's when he saw Bella. Bella was looking at toys, and he would watch Bella for 20 minutes. He actually would follow her from aisle to aisle, just looking at her. He was stalking her. That was his prey. The article described as heaps of children was around that area, but his eyes was fixated on Bella. And again, her mother just feet away. Sterling went up to Bella and he said, "Follow me." That's it. Those was the 2 words he said, "Follow me." Whatever Bella was told in the past, she didn't do it. Bella followed. She followed him down the aisle, out the store, into the parking lot, and in his car, and they drove off. Bella's mother realized that Bella was nowhere around, that she was gone. The terror of where her daughter disappeared to, who had her, and what happened. Where was she? Meanwhile, Sterling would drive Bella to Bushland, 30 minutes away, and he would SA her on a Plymouth stone passageway. He literally SA'd her in the bushes. Sterling then drove back to the Kmart, and he says he, quote, "snapped out of it," end quote, and he says he started to cry. He said he felt horrible that he took her innocence. Bella turned to him. During this car ride, she turned to him after being assaulted, and she said, "Are you okay?" This is what a 7-year-old is saying to her attacker. "Are you okay?" Sterling would drop her off at Kmart parking lot at 2:23 p.m. Bella was reunited with her mother. Now, her mother noticed that 2 long scratches was on Bella. She asked what happened. Bella refused to talk. She wouldn't tell her mother what happened. Police even tried to find out what happened to Bella. She wouldn't even tell the police what went on. The police would then watch the CCTV footage. They saw Bella being lured out of Kmart. Bella would be taken to the medical center for treatment, where she still would not tell anyone what had occurred. So images went statewide to identify this predator that had been in the store. Sterling was immediately identified as a family member of an employer. He had been in trouble for petty theft in the past. Daily Mail QLD had previously investigated Sterling for alleged attacks involving children. Now, I don't know what kinds of attacks that Sterling was involved in. Now, I do think that Sterling is a little bit diabolical to cry in front of this little girl. I believe that he gained her trust so much that she would not talk because she just wouldn't do it. So he was found and arrested. Now, Sterling was in custody for 306 days. 5 months of them was in solitary confinement, and I believe that that was not by his choice. I believe this confinement was for his safety. During court, there were a few alarming things, or at least alarming things, that I found a little troubling that came out. First, he did apologize for, quote, taking the girl's innocence, end quote, several times. That's all he would say. And also for scaring her mother. He was also abused himself as a child. There was evidence from a psychologist that Sterling was previously diagnosed with pedophilic disorder. Yep. And he was also addicted to online, PORN. I don't know if it was CHILD, PORN, but he was addicted to that. And the troubling thing of them all for me was he is the proud father of twin girls. So now Sterling was ultimately sentenced to 8 years, and he could be paroled in 2. Now remember, this is back in 2018. So he would be out by December 2022, right? No later than that, paroled, if that was to have happened. People were coming forward asking for a harsher sentencing for Sterling. People that had experiences with their own children being SA'd by pedos, they were coming forth too with their story, saying no, he needs a longer, harsher sentence. There needs to be longer, harsher sentences, period. A man even stood outside with a t-shirt on to let Sterling know how he felt about his situation. Now, he could still be there. I couldn't find anything saying that he was released because, again, this did happen in Australia, but he could still be in prison. However, if he is, his release date is 2026. He would have served his entire time. Now, what scares me, well, a lot of things scare me about this story, but what scares me is he could have brought Bella to this park. He could have choked her out. He could have ended her easily and just went on home to his wife and his children, and nothing happened. That's if that CCC footage wasn't in there. Nobody would have known. He could have easily got away with it, but we have to thank goodness that those cameras were in place and that he was able to be identified so quickly. Hopefully, Australia rules are very similar to America's rules, and hopefully he does have to be on a sex offenders list and have to register yearly, and more than anything, hopefully he cannot be around these twin children. And I don't care if the mother is there watching and making sure, because you can't watch and make sure forever. Those twins need to remain safe. Now, he says his blessings, that's what he calls his twins, his blessings, they'll be under 10 years old when he is released. And again, will they be protected? Suppose he gets these urges again. Suppose, right? I mean, it was so easy for him to pick up a child and drop them back off no less than 2 hours, like it was okay. And again, return home to his wife and twins like nothing happened. Now, when this happened in 2018, his wife, Angie Hodgson, she said that Sterling was arrested right in front of her and that she was shocked when she found out what he had been arrested for. And we can't say it was alleged because, again, there is CCC footage. There's a CCC video proving exactly what he was doing. She said, quote, "It's been rough on me and my family," end quote. Now, again, that was said in 2018. I don't know how her feelings are now as she's watching her children grow. I don't know. But she has to protect them, at least until they're teenagers. They should not be around their father unsupervised, at least to where they're able to fight back in a sense. Because, again, that's very scary for me. That really is. I mean, he was abused, which is horrible. But then he abused. And it is a good chance that it will happen again. I also was reading an article out of Queensland that they said most offenders only offend because they were abused previously. And I must say that is not right, I should say. That is not right at all. People that have been victimized, SA'd at a young age, even the ones that didn't get any therapy, I don't think they go on to abuse. Now, a good portion of them, unfortunately, they do, but I think that they use things for a coping mechanism because they wasn't able to seek therapy and understand the situation that really happened. So yes, they engage in drugs and alcohol and maybe not have good relationships and maybe can't, excel well in their school, in their job, because of a previous assault. But I don't think that they all continue to offend. I don't think so at all. At all. But Bella, she is going through therapy. And she's dealing with what has happened to her, and her family is a strong support system. So that's great for Bella, because it scares me that Bella wasn't saying a word as to what happened. And I didn't read anything that, he had threatened her. But again, the articles are very few with limited information. Now, for the ladies that are listening to this morning's video, I do have a question. Would you trust your husband to enter back in the home 8 years later? And let's say he got counseling while he was in prison, but he enters back in home and your twin daughters are 9 years old. Would you feel safe with him being in the home? I can easily say it would be no trust in me at all. No trust in me. I would have to stop communication with him, and everything else would have to be done through a court if he really wants to see these kids. And I would definitely recommend, as loud as I can scream and yell, that he needs to be supervised at all time, not family member supervision. Like, he has to go to a building and he has to supervise. He does. So be supervised. He does. So that's just my thoughts of today. Have a great Tuesday. I'm off to work. I'm going to try to have a great one. Thanks for listening. Oh yeah, don't forget, like this video, subscribe, and just stay tuned because I try to drop them very frequently. I have another one coming up real soon. Thank you.